80% of companies have moved to skill assessments. Professional skills or experience, people take the highest, give the highest weightage. And you would see all of this directly links to the digital age development that India is moving into. Now, the last one of it here, maybe not the least one, but the one we were talking about here is skills-based hiring. Now, how does skills-based hiring differ to what organizations used to do before COVID or before, let's say, a trend of 3-4 years, the change of digital economy, the change of digital innovation? How has that changed the hiring? Can you move to the next slide, please, Monica? Now, just one line back, please. Just the first. Thank you. Now, a very simple analogy. There's a recent study that we have done that it says that 80% of companies have moved to skill assessments for their requirements, because today companies no longer require or no longer can adapt to a model of a ready-made or a readily available graduate, because none of our institutions. Can you move to the next graphic? Put the next graphic on, please. Thank you. So this is a small study that we have conducted. In 2019, 73% of the developer community said JavaScript, which is one of the key elements to literally 80% of the tech jobs in the industry, is not taught exclusively in their curriculum as a coding language. Yes, JavaScript is touched upon, but it is like .NET, Java, JavaScript. But today, companies have moved away from .NET, companies have moved away from Java, companies are only focusing on JavaScript and advanced JavaScript, programming languages like Angular, Node, which is more focused towards creating a front-end or a web-based environment for themselves. Now, this is just one example. We have a plethora of such examples that organize or institutions, standard graduating institutions don't teach their students which will be a ready-to-market talent. Now, the organizations which are hiring them has to spend time, into training them, and we have more number of candidates because our business is engaging with talent. Our business is talking to people. We have many number of candidates, especially students, coming and telling that 90% of them, I can quote that number over there, that they would be preferred to give an opportunity to prove their skills rather than judge their resumes. Believe me, there is an instance that I spoke when we have spoken to a few of the college graduates. They say, "Sir, ma'am, we don't know what to put in our resumes that makes it more interesting to a recruiter without judging us just on the basis of the 1-page or 2-page resume that I submit them." When we do conduct workshops and all of it to them, this is what they say: how can I make my resume talk for myself? If they give me a chance to speak and explain about myself, how I can do it in my campus interview, I can definitely crack the interview. That's the confidence of today's tech talent who are coming out of campuses today. But how do you present? How do you get that foot in the door? So that is the exercise today that we are working towards. That is what we, as recruiters, as specialists in recruitment, try to bridge a gap where Foundit is working towards. Moving further. Okay. Now this is now I'm pretty sure in the beginning of the conversation I started with saying that educational degree, academic specialization is one of the key areas of hiring. But this is some data that we have collected of the top top 7 decision-making parameters in the industry, tech industry mostly, that managers, organizations have taken when selecting a set of talent. I mean, this data basically talks about mid, junior to fresher to junior level talent. We are not talking about a senior level talent. That is a different equation altogether. So the applicability, if you notice, professional skills or experience, people give the highest weightage in today's hiring, closely followed by obviously educational degree. So if two people go with a very good educational degree, with a very strong educational pedigree, versus somebody goes with a strong professional certification, professional experience that can show their quality in a specific skill, the chance is little higher to somebody who goes with a professional skill and experience. Very small. Definitely, we cannot outweigh today. Our system is not aligned to outweigh completely as an educational degree, no doubt. But there's a slight edge to somebody goes with a professional skill or a professional experience to the market. Okay, that is very focused to what the organization is looking for. Now, followed by references. Believe me, we still live in this day and age where references from people top tier in the organization with a good background still play, but that still takes the third stage. Academic specialization. So academic specialization mostly works in areas where you are specialized, where you are working in lab environment, where you are working on chip design, where you are working in specialized areas. That takes a key area where you are working on some very, very unique kind of technologies. For example, AI and ML has become a huge build up lately, and many of the companies look at specialization, academic specialization, people doing MS, MTech kind of specializations in those areas. They are very interested in picking up, but that still takes a close fourth, followed by extracurricular activities. Now, the reason why we talk about extracurriculars here is organizations don't want robots. I mean, technically, with technologies like ChatGPT and Bard, Google Bard coming out, I seriously doubt over a period of time the redundant job would be taken off from the pipeline. And people don't want just somebody who just do their job and go away. People who can take extra responsibility, who can drive the expectation better than what the job role says. So somebody who have done over their curriculum. That is what extracurriculars talks about. Followed by grades. So grades, obviously, the higher the percentage. I'm pretty sure few of you who would have applied to few companies, they would say that give me percentages from 10th, 12th, and graduation to masters, everything. So you have to be at that cutting level of cut to make for interview process. So that's still an identity. Official recognition. There's a very small percentage of the says that people who have official recognitions. Official recognition technically means that you have got some awards, some national awards. Some people have done some played games, participated in some national level, international level athletics. They get some additional advantage over decision making, through the decision making. So roughly these are the top 7 decision making parameters that today the tech talent get identified. This is basically anywhere between 0 to 2 years. After the 2 years experience level, it's majority of the time it is the experience talks. Almost 75% it is the experience that talks rather than the education degree or extracurriculars, etc., because after that it becomes irrelevant. Obviously, skills continue to play a bigger role. The larger the skill accumulation you have, the more easier the decision making would be for a hiring manager. Okay. Moving further. Okay. So we talk just a little bit back, please. A little back. Thank you. Okay. So these are we have listed down a close to 100 jobs, which are the top in-demand skills, in-demand jobs in the year 2023 on basis of how 21 and 22 has been. And then we took the top 5. So as you can see, the data engineer, full stack developer, especially in the blockchain and cloud engineering environments, UX designer, cybersecurity engineer, and DevOps engineer. Now, if you just look at these 5 skills and just relate to what I just told in the beginning of my slide, you would see all of this directly links to the digital age development that India is moving into. data engineering, blockchain and cloud environments, UX, that is basically the visual interfacing, cybersecurity. All these are areas which everybody aspire, or the skills that are being built or developed by the government itself. Obviously, the tech companies are following the trend in the alignment. Now, looking at the kind of compensation, starting compensation that we predict in this, one block more, please, Monica. Yeah, thank you. So we're predicting that somebody with a skill of data engineer, basically somebody who has experience in different data tools, managing, building data analysis, driving the data science related aspects. Their average fresher salary is going to be at 9 lakhs. Okay, this is an average salary. There are companies which will pay higher than this too, but this is the average salary we are talking about. Guys, here I'm very clear. This has nothing to do with your pedigree. This has nothing to do with your educational qualifications. Obviously, a basic graduation is mandatory today to work in the tech industry. But this, we are talking about the skill specific job expectation from the market. Okay. For a full stack developer, full stack developer, mostly today people talk about Java, JavaScript based jobs. That's a very common notion today. Somebody who understands full stack development, who don't understand full stack development, just an inference to it is full stack development is nothing but somebody who has experience in working on a programming language like Java or JavaScript, and working on uh, query language like MySQL or Oracle SQL kind of a programming language. That is what full stack development is in very, very simple terms. Obviously, the domain, the technology, the product that you work will make the difference. You might have to learn additional tools to make it. That's whole the skill mapping comes into conversation, which further along the line, my colleague Monica will speak about. But that starts at around 7,50,000. And UX designers is basically people who build that beautiful interfaces that you see on websites, right? So your mobile apps, making them beautification. That's a very creative job. So people use Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop to build these things. Followed by cybersecurity engineer, DevOps engineer. Basically, DevOps engineer is somebody who will make sure that the operation of an application. So for example, we are using a browser, we are using a system, we are using an application on a phone. A DevOps engineer is who makes to sure that the development is continuous. As in new features come in, the old features doesn't stop working. So whenever a new feature is implemented, before it is implemented, the DevOps engineer is the guy who goes and tweaks and fiddles with it to make sure that, okay, fine, if I put the new plug in, the old plug doesn't come out. So that's as simple as a DevOps engineer can be. So that's the fifth most in demand job that we will start at. A little further, Monica, if you don't mind. So we're talking about people at an average of experience, again, 2 years and less of experience. A data engineer demands an average of 15 lakhs of salary in the industry. A full stack developer demands around 9,50,000 rupees of salary. And a UX designer around 7 lakhs, cybersecurity engineer 6.5, and DevOps engineer 7 lakhs, so on and so forth. Like I said, by the demand, by the experience that you accumulate over a period of time, and by the combination of the new skills that you add to your resume, these salary levels go up. Okay, so that's about the in-demand jobs 2023.